everybody, and welcome to the Bulldog Report. This is Eddie Kalegi here live for Metuchen High School Field Hockey Senior Night as the 3-2 Bulldogs play host to the Old Bridge Knights, who come in at 1-3-1. Should be a huge game tonight here between the Dogs and the Knights. Of course, Metuchen trying to capitalize on Senior Night, and of course, under the lights. This is the second night of action that we've had under the lights here at Metuchen High School as part of Whiteout Week. Yesterday was a girls' soccer game. They took the victory 2-0. In addition, there was a pep rally to kick off the festivities of the week, and there's a lot more to come, of course, that culminates on Saturday with the football team playing host to Spotswood in their homecoming game. This Metuchen High School field hockey program has found so much success, really, since 2017. They have a record of 64-8-2 on the varsity level since the beginning of that 2017 season, which was the first of 3 consecutive GMC championships. And they finished 10-1 last year in the season that did not have a conference championship, of course, due to COVID and the shortened season. As for Old Bridge, they struggled last year, finished 2-10-1, a 1-9-1 record in GMC Red Division play, and they have a lot of changes on their roster. Both of these teams do. Old Bridge lost their top scorer in Dylan Jimeray, as well as their goalie, Mia Policia. They were both seniors last year, but for the Bulldogs, of course, their top 4 scorers all graduated, led by Noelle Leaf with her 16 goals and an assist, now playing at Rutgers University, Elizabeth Lackland, Isabel Wiener, who is a commit to Rowan University, and Claire Kenny. So there's been a lot of turnover within both of these programs, and for Metuchen, it has been an adjustment, and they started off slow. They were 1-2, had a couple of early losses to East Brunswick and South Plainfield, who are the top 2 teams at this point in the GMC Red Division. But Metuchen has won back-to-back and had their most dominating victories so far this season in their last game against Piscataway, an 8-zip victory over Piscataway. 2 goals apiece from Sullivan and Pearsall, Kaylee Mendez, Alana Catherine Lopez, and Jessica Leaf each tacked on a goal apiece, and Olivia Bortman had a very calm game in goal. They didn't have to worry about doing too much, but very exciting to be under the lights here in Metuchen. A big undertaking, of course, by the athletic department to make this possible for this week, and it was a huge success last night and also resulted in a Bulldog win, and there will be hopes that can happen once again tonight. But stay with us here on the Bulldog Report. This is Eddie Kalegi here on the call. We'll be starting in just a couple of minutes as Metuchen and Old Bridge get set to go. Just about set for action. The teams take the field. Metuchen in white, Old Bridge in navy blue. The Bulldogs on senior night. They had a huge senior night last year at Myrtle Field. They had a 6-4 victory over Monroe with Noelle Leaf scoring all 6 goals. The Bulldogs will have it right off the start at midfield. That one's left off for Kaylee Mendez, and we are underway. Goes out of bounds off of Lopez. This Old Bridge team, they've lost their last 5 meetings with Metuchen, a combined 19-1. It has not been particularly even. The Knights have not defeated the Bulldogs since October 13th, 2016. Here's Caitlin O'Leary with it. And that one's going to go out of play. Rain coming down a little bit here between the Knights and the Dogs. The rain had held up for much of the day, and it seemed to hold up during the ceremony, but you can see a pretty steady rainfall out on the field right now. This one's sent in. Bortman comes out of goal, kicks it out with the right foot, and sends it out to the far sideline. Olivia Bortman's had a great year in goal, 31 saves. She had 46 in her junior year in the shortened 2020 season. Knights working it around. And it'll be O'Leary leaving it off for Kaylee Mendez. Blown dead, and Metuchen hangs on. Mendez nearly tied up there by the defender. That's the senior Haley Park. And a turnover, and Old Bridge will take it the other way. A lift ahead, now it's O'Leary. Getting in front of that one was Gretchen Pulse. Vizio chases after it. Trouble for Sullivan trying to handle that one. And Vizio secures it from Metuchen. Short pass, rolls ahead. A battle near the near sideline. That's Capron. And Metuchen will turn it over. Old Bridge ball here. 2 minutes in between the Dogs and the Knights. Rain's starting to pick up a little bit out here on the turf in Metuchen, just a couple minutes into this game. But fortunately, they were able to get the ceremony done before the rain started coming down. And the one good thing with our setup this year is that we have our cameras set up inside the press box. If you remember our baseball broadcast in the spring, we'd have to call it off with a chance of rain, but for right now, our camera equipment is all protected here in the press box, here at MHS Stadium. So 3 minutes gone. Metuchen's offense really hasn't been able to get anything going as of yet. It'll be Caitlin O'Leary here on the free hit. That one goes deep and will be secured by Jessie Kim. Steady rainfall continuing here, 3.5 minutes gone now. Metuchen trying to work it on the other side of the field for the first time today. Ball's going to go out of bounds here. Hey, why don't you just sit over here? Metuchen's going to feed it in. Kaylee Mendez. Bulldogs will have a free hit. It's O'Leary here trying to find someone. But the Old Bridge defense swallows that one up. Vizio tries to recover and get to it. Rain is suddenly coming down very hard here at Metuchen. Fires it ahead. With all the rain, you start to wonder about visibility here for some of these players. Metuchen's defense, though, attentive. It's Jessica Leaf tries to take that one away. With it are the Knights. Allen's knocked around. Trying to take it away is the speedy Kaylee Mendez, the Susquehanna University commit. 9 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here in the opening period. A scoreless game here between the Dogs and the Knights. One shot so far belongs to Old Bridge, and it was kicked away by Olivia Bortman. Heavy rain continues to come down. Very different conditions than when this game first started 5 minutes ago. But Metuchen speeding ahead, trying to clear it out as that defense, as Brooke Buckley, the senior defender and forward, plays both of the positions. transitions. Lily Bennett flicks it out to Divizio. Metuchen takes it near side. Divizio dribbling, trying to make something happen. And it's booted by Oldbridge. And a free hit is coming here from Metuchen. Caitlin O'Leary will have it just shy of the 45-yard line. It bounces off of a Knight and is going to get over to Sullivan. And reaching out forward is Capron. And they'll stay with the Bulldogs. O'Leary will have it at the 26-yard line or so. Passes it over. Battle rages on, and Metuchen cannot keep that one in bounds. So 7 minutes through here. Rain is steady right now, doesn't seem to be picking up any more. But of course that field is suddenly drenched after just a few minutes of action. O'Leary, heavy collision with the stick of Pulse. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. Lady Bulldogs on the drive. O'Leary, shake and bake between the defenders, but whiffs on that one. It's taken away by Haley Park. Metuchen trying to get back at it. That's Lopez. And Metuchen will keep possession. O'Leary off to the corner. And it'll be from the goal now for Oldbridge. So Metuchen squanders that, but did keep possession for a couple of minutes and had some nifty passes in there, especially from the senior Caitlin O'Leary. Of course, the Bulldogs looking to show out here on senior night, and as we said last year, they put up 6 goals on senior night, which was also under the lights, but that back at Myrtle Field. A 6-4 victory over Monroe, and all 6 goals belong to former Conference Player of the Year Noel Lee. Jenna Divizio trying to keep it, but it's going to be taken away by Isabel Duval, who has a goal in this 2021 season. She tries to get it ahead, was looking for Phyllis Goodrich. And Metuchen takes it. Coming the other way, it's Alana Capron. Defense swings over. That's Ashley Barbario. Sullivan flicks a little pass down there. Sullivan hit it with the wrong side of the stick. And we'll see the call is here. So we'll stay with Oldbridge. Sophomore Karina Cracciolo has it, whips on the first swing, and Kaylee Mendez is now going to take it from Metuchen. Mendez, her defensive intensity, one of the keys to this team. Mendez said actually her favorite memory as part of the team was the team's scavenger hunt. Of course, even though we're still in September, it is a bittersweet moment playing under these lights as seniors for so many of these Metuchen players. 9 seniors on this team. A very upper-loaded roster with a lot of upperclassmen. 5:16 to go here. Scoreless game right now. And that one's taken away. Coming the other way is Goodrich, has one defender to beat, and it's swallowed up by the Bulldogs. What a play back there. I believe that was Noel Camarano who got to that one. And Gretchen Pulse will have it, but that was a key stop because the Metuchen back line really disintegrated, especially their midfield, and it set up a near 2-on-1 opportunity for Oldbridge. Will have it now. That pass in is deflected by Sullivan. Oldbridge will lose possession. Metuchen will have the free hit. O'Leary bounces one ahead, and it's going to roll all the way back to the defense. passes it back. That pass ahead, knocked away. It's going to roll back towards the goal. An opportunity for Capron. She gets swallowed up by the goalie. Ball's still alive, and somehow Oldbridge escapes. That was the senior Megan Nelson there, who came out of goal and met Alana Capron with a full head of steam. Oldbridge showing really great defense there. And a nice win for their first win of the season last game out against South Brunswick, who is 4-4 and in 4th place in the GMC Red Division. Barbario scored the goal. Nelson had a pair of saves, so really a lot of momentum riding into this game for this Knights team. Probably the most confidence they've had all season after starting 0-2 and 0-3 in 1. They're trying to continue that momentum here, and so far looking good. That one is chopped ahead. Now Oldbridge with the full head of steam yet again. Gets in front. Boardman can't stop it. The second shot knocked around down there. And Metuchen's defense stays alive. Metuchen players trying to make something happen here on the far sideline. That's O'Leary. In front of her was Gretchen Pulse. Here comes Oldbridge in front with it. Nice chop one near the net. It's going to go off a foot, and a penalty is going to be awarded here to Oldbridge. So first penalty corner of the game for either side will come with under 2 minutes remaining in the first. Pulse will pass it in. Full head of steam. There's the shot from Barbario. Nothing happens there. Metuchen trying to clear it out. It's Camarano chasing after, trying to keep it in bounds. And she does. Just shy of that yellow line. Now Metuchen has the momentum coming the other way. It's Alana Capron. One defender to beat. Has Sullivan to her right. Tries to get it over to her, but chopped that one to the ground. Mendez stops that one though. Pace is picked up to the fastest we've seen so far today. And both teams with prime scoring opportunities, and neither can convert right there. First Oldbridge off the penalty corner, and Metuchen with the breakaway with Alana Capron. But it was Brooke Buckley who stood up on that back line and made a big defensive stop to slow the momentum down. Now here comes Oldbridge on the run again. It's Goodrich. Gets it around O'Leary, stopped by Camarano. Tries to get it over to Lopez, and she does. Rolling near out of bounds, Metuchen keeps it in for now. Skylar Pearsall over there. Sullivan bounces it out. Pearsall trying to make a play on it. Skylar Pearsall tied with Haley Sullivan for the team goal lead with 3 apiece for the first 5 games of the season. So time will expire here in the first. It's a scoreless game. The rain has settled down a bit after the downpour we saw with about 10 minutes remaining in the first quarter. But it's a scoreless game here between Metuchen and Oldbridge. Hard fought. Stay with us here. Second quarter coming up. Scoreless game. This is Eddie Kalegi live on the Bulldog Report. soccer has their senior night at 5 against St. Thomas Aquinas. Girls soccer faces off with Wardlaw. And then, of course, Saturday night, the football game homecoming against the Spotswood Chargers. Quarter number 2 getting underway here. Metuchen will have it on a free hit from the middle. And Mendez lets it roll back to Lily Bennett. The senior heavy Bulldog group now with Avery Byrne on the field for the first time. Showed some momentum, had a couple of chances. A prime chance for Alana Capron. She got bowled over by the goalie. Another breakaway for Capron, and that one was knocked away by the defender Buckley. One penalty corner so far for Oldbridge, but now Metuchen on the drive. But DeVizio shoots that one a bit too far to the left of her forward compatriot Alana Capron. Of course, for Metuchen, the question is a talented roster yet again. Can they win a state sectional semifinal game? They've lost in the semis 3 consecutive years. Last season, it was against Shore. It's typically schools from South Jersey that give them trouble, despite all the success they've had in the GMC. Like we mentioned, that 64-8-2 record since the beginning of 2017, which is absolutely remarkable about what this program has become and what they continue to do. That one's going to go out play. And it'll be Oldbridge ball. Ashley Barbario had a goal and an assist last season. Like we said, as much as Metuchen had a lot of losses, Oldbridge did as well. Their leading scorer, Gimmeray, graduated, as did their starting goalie, who had 128 saves on the season. Right in front, Metuchen had a chance, but it'll be a turnover. It went off the foot, I believe, of Lopez. Oldbridge will line up for a free hit. It's Barbario. Sends one down. Goodrich can't secure it. O'Leary and Goodrich both go for it. And it's Caitlin O'Leary taking it at midfield for the Dogs. O'Leary waits on and secures it. Tries to skip it ahead. Taken by Haley Park. O'Leary chops that one forwards. She can hit it hard, but unfortunately didn't have anybody there. Pearsall goes for it, gets to it. But too many Oldbridge defenders to make something happen. Now Mendez does try to make something happen, takes it, knocked away. And Metuchen is going to win a penalty corner. So first corner of the day for the Bulldogs. You've got to try to capitalize on opportunities like this in a game that looks like it could be very low scoring and down to the wire. Here with 12 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. O'Leary will feed it in. She's got Mendez, DeVizio, Pearsall, Sullivan, Byrne, and Camerano up for the Dogs. O'Leary gets it. It's Pearsall. Stops it. Shoots. Slow roller. Knocked away by Barbario. And that'll roll out of bounds far side. First with the lights the way they are, when you run out onto the track, it's looking like the player's disappearing into the dark. Pearsall gets it in. Camerano. Trying to take it as Mendez, but it's secured by the Oldbridge Knights. Of course, these teams have some history. They matched up in 2018 in the GMC title game. Metuchen took that victory on the road 2-1, the second of 3 in their GMC 3. By the way, Metuchen just won their second consecutive penalty corner. I was actually broadcasting for Rutgers against Syracuse, and the big deal was getting successive penalty corners. They got 3 in a row that led to a goal at one point as the defense started to tire. And Metuchen's gotten 2 right here, and is going to get their 3rd here, so we'll see if 3rd time's the charm. Everybody lined up. exactly at the 10-minute mark remaining in the first half. That's the senior, one of the key players of this team, senior midfielder. A goal and an assist last year, scored the game-winning goal over South Brunswick on the 23rd. And she's going to head off the field. I think she took a shot up near the face from the stick. She'll walk off and get checked out. A good sign to see her walk off, but for an Oak Ridge team that has a packed schedule this week, this is the first of 3 games in 4 days. They're on the road again tomorrow night against Piscataway, and then have to play at home on Friday against East Brunswick, the top team right now in the GMC Red Division. So they've got some work to do. It's a busy week, and they don't want to see one of their star players go down. From Metuchen, they play Thursday at Sayreville. Then are back home Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. game against Monroe. Of course, Metuchen won the conference for 3 years, won the division last year, but for the first time since maybe 2016, they are not looking like the most dominant team in the conference. That is East Brunswick. The Metuchen's already lost to this season, and will look to recover against a conference tournament play. So out of the stoppage, they put 10:08 back on the clock. It'll be Old Bridge ball. Allen's going to roll towards the sideline. That's Kristen Jazubal chasing after it. Her first appearance in the junior forward. Metuchen has it out wide. O'Leary scrapes it ahead. It's Pearsall trying to get to it. Cleared out by the Knights, but it's actually going to go off the foot of one of Duval's teammates, and Metuchen will keep possession here. 9:17 remaining in the first half. O'Leary. That one got a stick. And it looks like a green card here. And we'll send Gretchen Pulse to the sideline. So 2 minutes in the box for Gretchen Pulse. Metuchen will try to take advantage of this. Pulse, one of the top players on that roster. Metuchen in tight, goes off the net. Second chance to get it in. And the Bulldogs are on board. The recovery looked like Mendez had an open goal when they drew Nelson out. They couldn't get it in at first. But Metuchen is on the board. 1-0. Now is Avery Byrne there putting it in. Byrne had 2 goals last season as a sophomore. That's her first goal of this season. Has a pair of assists this year to go with it. And Metuchen has a 1-0 lead. O'Leary trying to get it to Mendez. And that one's a kick, and Metuchen's going to have it. Bulldogs hoping to get a multi-goal advantage. And on senior night, it was actually the junior amongst all the seniors out there who makes the difference. And now Metuchen driving again. Kaylee Mendez. Allen made a stick. And a penalty corner is coming for Metuchen. Already there before me then. Actually, right now. Yeah, that'll be a penalty. You're halfway through quarter number 2. Allen's going to come in. Metuchen a little slow on getting it out. That'll be Old Bridge ball. Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report for Metuchen Field Hockey Senior Night as the 3-2 Lady Bulldogs host the 1-3-1 Old Bridge Knights. Long pass ahead from Barbario is secured by Camerano. But that'll go out of bounds into the benches. Bulldogs have it. Kaylee Mendez tied up, she'll keep possession. Mendez is so elusive out there. And can get to the ball very quickly, even from large distances. Makes her such a threat, even if she's not one of the tallest players out there. O'Leary wedges it ahead. Pearsall trying to get to it, but that'll cross the end line and go out of bounds. Aside from the goal, Metuchen's passing hasn't been very crisp. Can't say much better for Old Bridge. But you have to think the weather has to play a role in that. It was a downpour for the first few minutes of this game. It appears to have stopped raining, and if it's anything, maybe a tiny drizzle at this point. But, of course, the AstroTurf out there is wet. And, of course, with the lights and everything, it's an adjustment for many of these players. Kind of adds in a few more obstacles to the night's action. Will go out of bounds again. Old Bridge has it, and Mendez is going to take it away. Down goes Mendez on a stick collision. Oh, it's going to bounce away. Trying to take it is Audra Jacobs, a junior forward, in for the first time today. Metuchen will set up for a free hit, and it'll be one of their best strikers in Caitlin O'Leary to do that. O'Leary threads the needle of the defense, gets to Mendez. And it's called a tackle from behind on Karina Cracchiolo. Now Metuchen gets it back over Mendez. Feeds it off towards the corner. Apron, who's had a couple of big chances today. Stay with the Dogs. 3:20 to go in the first half. Metuchen would love to find a way to double their lead here just before halftime. Mendez whips on it, gets a little bit going. Now she gets tied up with an Old Bridge Knight. There's no number 21 on their roster that's provided, but anyway, Metuchen's got it. Mendez. Seems like Mendez and O'Leary controlled the ball for the most part tonight for the Dogs. Of course, this team is a team effort. Not really one or two stars out there, as we've seen in past seasons for Noah Leaf and Isabel Wiener. It really takes a collective effort, and that's what makes this team maybe different from the others. And just losing out on all of that talent to still have such a successful season so far, really a testament to their coaching staff and how well their players work together. Avery Byrne gets it ahead. Now here comes Haley Sullivan with it. Sullivan tries to find Capron, spinning around, and Barbario tries to take it. But Metuchen draws the penalty corner. That'll be the fifth already for Metuchen in the second quarter after none in the first. As we get the 2-minute mark here in the first half. goes over and does that. O'Leary passes it in. Stopped by Sullivan. Dribbles back a couple of steps. There's a shot from Lopez. And Metuchen's awarded another penalty corner. Nothing like the better not sit out of bounds in the line. Clock continues to tick. First quarter, Metuchen couldn't really keep it in the scoring zone. Old Bridge had it a lot on the other side of the field. This quarter's been a completely different story. There's another chance inside, blocked by Nelson. And I believe that went off the foot of Avery Byrne. That'll be Old Bridge ball. So the Knights do a great job there of staving off a pair of corners. Now the question is, can they get something going on their offense? And long hits like that probably aren't going to do it. They're going to need some consistent passes to methodically work their way down the field. Final minute of play in the first half. Here's Goodrich. And she had trouble handling that. Hit it with the wrong side of the stick. Metuchen has it. By the way, Gretchen Post is out of the box after that green card penalty. Trying to keep it in along the sidelines. One thing that can fool people, of course, with the field hockey dimensions, it's that yellow line on the sidelines that down on play, not the regular white out-of-bounds line that you see on a football field. Kaylee Mendez tries to backhand that one. 15 seconds. DeVizio somehow bounces back to her. Oldbridge trying to just fight this off, keep this at a one-score game heading to halftime. 8 seconds now. Knights send it down the field. O'Leary gets it on desperation, 3 seconds, but time will run out, and that will end the first half. But Metuchen gets on the board off of a counter after a couple of penalty corners. Avery Byrne capitalizes with her first goal of the season. So it's a 1-0 lead for Metuchen at the break here on senior night against the Old Bridge Knights. We'll see what happens in the second half as Metuchen teams look to go to 2-0 in the week of lights and whiteout week here in the Brady Borough. Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Stay with us. Second half coming in about 6.5 minutes time. 1-0 lead for Metuchen. Stay with us. We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back to the Bulldog Report. This is Eddie Kalegi here live from Metuchen on senior night between the Dogs and the Old Bridge Knights, and it's a 1-0 score right now as we approach the beginning of the third quarter. It's been an interesting game so far. Of course, senior night, all 9 Metuchen seniors, and also a special thing to recognize some of the Old Bridge seniors as well. Very classy move by the Bulldog Athletic Department there. But it started with a downpour through the first few minutes, a lot of sloppy play. The rain stopped coming down, and things started to get at least slightly under control, and ultimately we did see a goal from Metuchen in the second quarter. They had 6 penalty corners in the second quarter, just 1 in the first half on the other side for Old Bridge, who seemed to control things through the first quarter, but it's been a complete change of pace in the second, and Metuchen taking that 1-goal lead after the Avery Byrne goal. Kaylee Mendez had a wide open opportunity that rammed off the left post, went right to the stick of Byrne, and she was able to sneak it in just past the diving Megan Nelson. And that's where we sit right now. So a thank you to everybody tuning in tonight here for field hockey under the lights as part of Whiteout Week here in the Brainy Borough, and it's a 1-0 lead for Metuchen over Old Bridge. So the Knights in their navy blue will take the field here to start the second half of play at midfield. With the ball on the free hit will be Phyllis Goodrich. And apologies for some tech issues with the sound, as well as I've made a couple of mistakes here with the visibility from the press box just with the rain, but things have gotten better now. It's a nice night now under the lights here in Metuchen. Phyllis Goodrich will have it for Old Bridge. Knights going right to left. And rather than pass it, she's going to try to take it herself. Hops a little, and Metuchen will try to get it, but it'll stay with Old Bridge here, as that one went off the foot of Kaylee Mendez. Backing up is the senior Emma Jordan. Hasn't had many touches so far. She had a goal last year and an assist so far this season. Interesting statistic, between these two teams, there are only 3 players returning from their last year's rosters that had multiple goals in 2020. It's Gretchen Polst, who had 2 for the Knights last year and none this season, and Metuchen has Avery Byrne and Haley Sullivan, who each scored a pair of goals last year. So Metuchen team went 10-1 last season, currently 3-2. Of course, a different looking roster, top 4 scorers, all gone from 2020, as that one is blown dead as they're streaking down the field. As Old Bridge will keep possession. So Metuchen has it far side. It's Caitlin O'Leary. And like I mentioned in the first half, these teams have some history. Old Bridge has been really a down program the last year or two, but before that, this was a good team. 2018 went to the GMC Championship game against Metuchen, ultimately fell at home 2-1 for the second of 3 straight Metuchen titles for a Bulldog team 64-8-2 since the beginning of the 2017 season. Trying to get to 4-2 here. East Brunswick is in first place in the red division. South Plainfield second. Metuchen sits third. This one is a bouncing ball inside. Mendez tries to get to it. O'Leary fights for it. And will stay with Metuchen. And a stick there from Jazubal. O'Leary will have a free hit. Rears that one up and hits it a little far for Elizabeth Lopez. That's the one thing I talked about with O'Leary. She is a great passer, but sometimes just puts a little too much mustard on them and can send them past her forwards. But O'Leary plays really an invaluable role on this midfield for the Lady Bulldogs. But I mentioned the roster turnover, of course, for Old Bridge Knights, coached by Brittany Fuentes. Lost their top goal scorer in Dylan Jiménez, as well as their their goalie, Mia Policia. Both graduated in June. Same goes for Metuchen. They lost their top 4 scorers. Noelle Leaf, Isabel Wiener, both went on to continue playing field hockey. Noelle Leaf doing it in the Big Ten with a ranked Rutgers program. Isabel Wiener doing it for Rowan. Elizabeth Lackland and Claire Kenny as well. As the Bulldogs there penetrate inside, and Sullivan is able to work the penalty corner. So 7th corner here for Metuchen compared to just 1 for Oldbridge. And like I talked about in the second quarter, you have to make the most of these opportunities. That's how you win games. With the chaos in front of the net, a ball can sneak through, and that can really turn the tide of a game. That's what Metuchen's trying to do right here. Mendez tries to keep tabs on that. Sneaks away, and that situation kind of fell apart there for the Bulldogs. 4 minutes into the third quarter. Metuchen's 3-2 record, actually their worst start since 2016, but of course they're still over 500, and those 2 losses are against the 2 teams that are ahead of them in the standings right now in South Plainfield and East Brunswick. And you know it's a learning curve for this team. This roster looks very different from last year. Those 4 players I mentioned, plus Lily Almeida, all graduated, so very different looking lineup. You got a lot of seniors and then some youngsters, and it's going to be the same idea next year with these 9 seniors all leaving. With the amount of turnover on this roster, players like Avery Byrne, Jessica Leaf, Elizabeth Lopez, Nicole Camarano will take on major roles. O'Leary there on the defense has trouble with it, and that's the thing Metuchen's really going to have to focus in on next year. When they lose out on both O'Leary and Mendez, who are so quick to the ball, just like we saw there, what will they be able to do? Mendez tries to send it in. Sullivan saved right there by Megan Nelson, who has 14 saves through 3 games. Sends that one out of bounds, and it'll be another penalty corner here for the Bulldogs. Their 8th. And again, O'Leary will line up for it with 9:39 remaining in the third quarter. O'Leary traps it in. Gets away. Another sloppy corner, but Metuchen recovering. Trying to handle that and secure it. Chopping it around is Lopez. That'll go out of play, and it'll stay. It'll go to the Knights now. Taking some time here in this pass is Barbario, who, by the way, is back into the game. Actually, that's Cracchiolo. Excuse me. Thought that was Barbario. Barbario is not on the field right now. She, of course, was injured in the second quarter. Took a shot near the face and walked off the field on her own power. And was checked on by a couple of trainers. Metuchen takes this one away. DeVizio fighting for it, and it's taken by the defense. Dribbled ahead. Now here's a pass. Coming the other way is Phyllis Goodridge. Goodridge passes it. Here's Jazubal. Working towards the corner, makes a spin move. Jessica Leaf chases after it, secured there by Pulst. But it'll go out of bounds, and Metuchen looks like we'll have possession. Actually, it'll stay with Oldbridge. Here it's 7:53 remaining in the third quarter. Here comes Alana Capron with it. Metuchen's got numbers. Capron going ahead. She has Sullivan in front of her. She tries to leave it off for Sullivan. It's blocked away by the defense and sent immediately out of bounds by Buckley. Heads up play right there by Brooke Buckley as we have now reached the halfway mark here in the third quarter. 1-0 game. Lone goal belongs to Avery Byrne. And Kaylee Mendez gets wrapped up there. And she'll have it. Drops it off right at the 20-yard line. Leaves it behind for O'Leary. Jordan contact with Mendez. Mendez leans into that. That'll be a roll to tackle, and Jordan will have it on a free hit for the Knights. Really, since the end of the first quarter, Old Bridge has struggled to work it down the field. Metuchen has just controlled things and kept it in their scoring zone. Caitlin O'Leary's pass, finding Kaylee Mendez, winding through. Mendez actually splits through a couple defenders. What a move by the Susquehanna University commit. Works it in, and it's blocked. Heads up defensive play there. That was Jesse Kim who got in front. Approaching 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Isabel Duval trying to get through, make some contact with her teammate Goodridge. O'Leary hustling, takes a hard spill. Student section was hoping for some sort of call there. Not going to get it. Packed crowd here in Metuchen under the lights. Rain didn't chase anybody away. Pearsall works it in front of the net, chasing back towards the edge of the semicircle, in front, and that's going to go out of bounds beyond the goalie. It'll be Old Bridge possession here. Actually, it looks like it's going to be Metuchen ball. Even the players were a little confused there at first. It's hard to tell right there in the scrum who that went off of. I thought that actually went off of the goalie, Nelson. But it'll stay with Metuchen. Kaylee Mendez rolls it back to O'Leary. Pace has slowed down considerably since these teams were really flying at the end of the first half. Metuchen can't allow any mistakes, and now open field in Old Bridge driving ahead. It's Goodridge. She gets space. She gets in front of Jessica Leaf. Goodridge trying to control it with the edge of the stick. Just barely keeps it in bounds right along the end line. Trying to work it in towards the crease. Jessica Leaf knocks it away. And it goes off the stick of Post and out of play. Free hit for Metuchen. It'll be Jessica Leaf, the sister of Noelle Leaf, a sophomore. Had 3 assists in her freshman season. Played a lot towards the end of the year with the varsity group. And has a goal to her name this season. Her first goal of the year came in that 8-0 rout Metuchen had over Piscataway in their last game on Friday. Emma Jordan sets for a free hit. Works it in, and a penalty corner is drawn. It'll just be the second of the game here for Old Bridge. They had won early back in the first quarter, and now set up for one here as we pass 3 minutes remaining in the third. Knights looking for the equalizer. Student section getting raucous. Emma Jordan knocked away by Jessica Leaf. But it will stay with the Knights. Leaf's stick went way up there, and it looked like she contacted an Old Bridge player as well. So the Knights will line up for their second corner in a row. So they'll try to wear out this defense and tie up this game. And that one is snatched away by the Metuchen defense. That was Caitlin O'Leary with a full head of steam right out of the goal. Ahead, here comes Pearsall with it. She has it knocked away. And the call will go Old Bridge's way. Final 2 minutes of play here in the third quarter. Here's Gretchen Pulst. Over to O'Leary. Goodridge got a stick in front of that. Metuchen stays with it. O'Leary bounces over to Pearsall. Pearsall inside. Lopez reaches out the stick. Keeps it in front of her. Now it's Pearsall. Strong defense from Buckley. And it's going to be staying, so it'll go to Old Bridge. Free hit for Jordan. Tries to thread the needle of the defense, does so. Goodridge tries to get it ahead to her teammate Alyssa Tom. Goodridge goes down as O'Leary takes it away. Now O'Leary has it in between her legs, and that's going to be taken by Goodridge. O'Leary heads up there trying to stop it. Lopez now gets in front of it too. Bouncing around Old Bridge again. Not really crisp, consistent passes. Camerano tries to make something happen right at midfield. Now Old Bridge driving back to their scoring side of the field again. It's Emma Jordan, who's been pretty active here through the third quarter. 33 seconds to go in the third. Metuchen still holding on to that 1-goal advantage by virtue of the goal by Avery Byrne in the second quarter. Jordan will set up. Old Bridge will try to make something happen with 15 seconds on the clock. Avery Byrne gets it ahead. Capron had to wait on it. Time running down in the third quarter. Metuchen with numbers. Now Jordan comes with the defense. Nice play to break that up and knock it away. Time will run out here in the third quarter. Hard-fought game. Metuchen with a 1-0 advantage here after 3. Still the 1 goal from Avery Byrne. They'll look up to lock up a senior night victory in the final 15 minutes. Eddie Kalegi here live on the Bulldog Report. We'll be back in a moment. Fourth quarter here, Eddie Kalegi here on the Bulldog Report. Of course, a thank you to our producer, Ben Salaski, for the help today. As we begin the fourth quarter of play, the third quarter ended with a stick-on-stick collision caused by Metuchen. So Old Bridge will have it here to start the fourth quarter of play, trailing by 1. Both these teams coming in on hot streaks. Old Bridge coming off of their first win of the season, a big win over a South Brunswick team that they were probably expected to lose to. While Metuchen has recovered from a slow 1-2 start after tough losses at the hands of South Plainfield and East Brunswick. Kaylee Mendez taking it from Metuchen. For the Bulldogs, it's really just all about ball control right now, and if they can add another goal, they'd love to have a little bit more of a comfortable margin. Mendez tries to cross it in. That one was fast, gets past. Looked like that was Lopez down there. Here come the Knights. Trying to keep that in bounds, and doing so is Jazubal. Flails on that, and it'll be Metuchen ball. Nicole Camerano, sophomores, played a great game on defense. Chaps went ahead past Jordan, and to the waiting stick of Sullivan. Still a clear night right now, very different from what we saw in the first quarter. Jazubal trying to work it. Camerano. Nice pass. Lopez has to try to keep it in bounds. She cannot. And it'll go to the Knights. Now for Metuchen, you can't have mistakes here, and you can't be allowing Old Bridge any penalty corners. There's been a couple of close calls so far in that. Metuchen leads the way 8-3, though, in corners so far in this game. And while I haven't been keeping track, I assume they've been leading the way in shots. It seems like they've had way more opportunities and certainly have controlled time of possession so far in this game. It was a slow start for Metuchen at a senior night. Something I've seen before. I mean, when I was a senior here last year, I remember the basketball team really struggled in the first half of their senior night game after the festivities, and then got in sync and got things working for the second half. Kind of just, I feel like the long celebration, the nostalgia can kind of take you out of the game mindset in some ways just for the first few minutes, and you got to have that adjustment period. And that's what we saw from Metuchen. Lack of cohesion through the first quarter. Part of that you could base on potentially, as that's worked inside, a fight for it near side. Bortman trying to keep it in front of her. And Metuchen takes possession as that went off the foot of an Old Bridge player. What a job by the Bulldogs. As that got dangerous down there, Olivia Bortman was trying to block it out. But as I was saying, there was a lack of cohesion. Some of that you could base on the rain and maybe adjusting to the visibility as well. But still, Metuchen's defense looking very out of sync right now. And suddenly Old Bridge has another chance. Bortman tries to boot it out of there, and she does. That kick move by Olivia Bortman, we saw it on display in the first quarter. She does it again. Of course, that's a high-risk, high-reward move if she whiffs on that and potentially leave a wide-open chance for the offense to score, but both of them have been crisp kicks to the far sideline and given her a much-needed rest back there in goal. It's the most action she has seen back there all game. And again, Old Bridge working it in, and again, it'll be a turnover. Kind of looked like Pulse thought that was a penalty corner, but it went off the foot of an Old Bridge player, according to the refs, and Metuchen has possession here with 11 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here on senior night. Just past 8 o'clock here in the Brady Borough. Eddie Kalegi on the call. Like we said, this is a busy time for this Old Bridge team. They have 3 games in 4 days. Tomorrow they play at Piscataway. Friday they host East Brunswick. For Metuchen, they're on the road Thursday against Sayreville, and then play the only day game for Metuchen Field Sport this week at home. Saturday they play an afternoon game at Monroe against Monroe here at MHS Stadium before, of course, the Saturday night homecoming football game. Of course, you can follow along to all the action here on the Bulldog Report, a collaboration between the MHS Media Club and the Metuchen High School podcast. Podcast first show coming in the next couple of days for the school year. The Media Club has a lot going on too, and they have their first meeting up in the press box tomorrow after school if you're interested in joining them. Final 10 here from M-Town. It's still a single goal lead for Metuchen. This team put up 6 on senior night last year, all from one score. None of the seniors have been able to get in the scoring column yet so far tonight. Metuchen has it far side. A fight for it out wide. And it's chopped away by Jordan. Metuchen somehow keeps it in bounds. Now it's taken away here. Goodridge trying to get to it. It's left off behind. Believe that's Buckley that got there. Here comes Oldbridge again. Kind of losing it there was Jazubal. And Metuchen takes it, it's Lopez. Pearsall chases after it. A battle with Pulst. The pace picking up again. Lopez there to pick up her teammate, but passes it right over to Buckley. And that'll go out of bounds. It'll stay with the Dogs. Elizabeth Lopez, very active, had her first career goal in that 8-0 blowout against Piscataway on Friday night on the road. Back the other way. Here comes Goodridge with it. It's a 4-on-3, but now she slows down. Nice defense from O'Leary, and O'Leary swats it away and bounces it past a couple. Pulse nearly runs into her own teammate Park there. Metuchen trying to keep it alive. Big time stick hit there between Mendez and Pulse. No call. Lopez swing and a miss right there. And now Oldbridge takes it the other way. Trying to keep it inbounds. Reaching out is Jazubal. Can't do so, and Camarano will have the free hit near side for Metuchen. Clock continues to tick. 7:42 remaining. Knights desperately looking for the equalizer. Bulldogs would love to get one more goal to put this one away. Stick hit there between Pearsall and Park. And Oldbridge will have it, and it'll be Jordan. Free hit for the senior Emma Jordan. One of 8 seniors on the roster, and here comes Metuchen on the takeaway. It's Jessica Leaf leading the charge. Spin move, knocked away, right to the stick of Pearsall now. Metuchen looking for momentum. Pass goes right back to Pearsall. Park knocks it away. Emma Jordan has it. Metuchen chases back. It's Goodridge. And it'll stay with the Knights. Camarano. Last line of defense. Knocks it away. Lopez gives a chase. Quick stick hit from Haley Park. Really turned into a beautiful night here after that downpour as Haley Park gets absolutely smoked there by the ball. And she's going to jog that one off a little bit and likely head to the sidelines. We've already seen an injury for this Oldbridge team, and we've already seen a senior go down. That was Ashley Barbario, who took, I might have been a stick to the face. And she came out of the game, and she has not been in since. And then now, that one for Haley Park was on a rope from Elizabeth Lopez right off her knee. So now they're down 2 starters here. And that one's going to go out of play. 5 minutes, 12 seconds to go. And again, a call against Metuchen. The Bulldogs have been very sloppy here in the fourth quarter and continue to allow opportunities here for Old Bridge to try to seek an equalizing goal. That one chopped weakly by Pulst, and it sets up a penalty corner. Fourth of the game, third of the quarter here for Old Bridge, who are making that penalty corner gap smaller and smaller. It's now a +4 margin for the Bulldogs. Metuchen with 8, one of them resulting in the goal from Avery Byrne. Can Old Bridge do the same here? Pulse passes it in. Secured there by Krakolio. Metuchen trying to take it away. Tied up with the sticks. Mendez loses her stick there. Student section getting loud. Krakolio works it in at the net. It's in for a goal, but it's waved off. Looked like the shot came from outside the crease. Pretty far out of the crease. It was in nearly a tie game there. Very lucky break from Metuchen, but that was a solid 3 to 5 feet beyond the crease on that shot there. Looked like it was off the stick of Krakolio. 3.5 minutes to go. Pearsall getting smacked around there by the defender. Like I said, number 21. Don't have a number 21 on the Old Bridge roster that I was provided, so apologies for that. Emma Jordan has it. And that pass is taken away by O'Leary, who seems to just get in front of every Old Bridge deep pass today. Goodridge has to wait on it. Little hesitation, but now there's space again. This one passed ahead. That's Duval down there. And it's knocked away by Sullivan. Now along the near sideline, here comes Metuchen. And that's chopped back the other way. Camerano giving a chase. Secured by Zubel. Goodridge. And that's going to go out of bounds. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. Bulldogs looking for a very impressive defensive victory here. The offense has been largely quiet. They've had their opportunities. They've definitely controlled the ball so far, but just the one sort of fluky goal from Avery Byrne is all they have against Megan Nelson, who's played a great game in goal for the Knights. Back the other way. Here comes Metuchen. They have space. It's Capron. Leaves it ahead. In front. What a blocker save by Nelson. Sprinting out of the goal. Sticking the right knee in front. Using the pads. Again, that shot. It's going to go wide right. Megan Nelson getting knocked around out there with a pair of potential game savers right there for Old Bridge, trying to stay alive. Another goal for Metuchen would basically put this one to bed as we have 1:38 to go. 1-0 game. Here's Mendez as Metuchen trying to hang on for the final minute and 20 seconds here. Would love to just keep it on this side of the field. Just looking to make some smart passes. Inside. That one's going to go out of play. But that was probably, honestly, Metuchen's best scoring opportunity the entire half. A couple straight on. Nelson stuck out the leg on the first one, then dove down as the shot went wide right on the second. Final minute. Mendez. Pearsall trying to fight for it, but the clock continues to tick. Bulldogs with a win would move to 4-2, would get them to 4-2 in the red division. They're pretty solidified in third place right now, not much movement above. This would put them a full game ahead of South Brunswick for that third spot. A loss here would drop Old Bridge to 1-4-1 again, would not drop them at all in the standings. They currently sit 6th in the red division, sandwiched between Monroe and Sayreville. Final 15 seconds. Old Bridge taking a lot of time here if they want to do anything. Clock continues to run And that will just about do it. 3, 2, 1. Final pass. Metuchen Sports 2-0 now in the week of lights, under the lights on whiteout night, senior night. Olivia Bortman pitches a shutout in goal. The Bulldogs defense strong throughout. Avery Byrne with the 1 goal in the second quarter, and it's enough for Metuchen as they take a 1-0 lead, their 3rd consecutive victory to improve to 4-2 in the season, and a huge win on senior night. No seniors scored, but of course they still have to be happy about a huge victory tonight. So Metuchen to 4-2, Old Bridge down to 1-4-1. That'll just about wrap up tonight's broadcast here on the Bulldog Report. Thank you to our producer, Ben Salaski, and everybody else who sets up all the equipment. But until next time, this is Eddie Kalegi signing off. 1-0 your final score. We hope you have a great rest of your night.